Akademiks can't ride no wave.
Jane Doe. Okay? All right. Let me get in the game. All right, cool. All right. So before the jury came in, they said the judge is asking about things that's going to be used. They said, what about a screenshot of the text between Ms. Ventura and Ms. Karam? Shapiro says, only the text should be admitted, not the photo. The AUSA says the jurors should only know that it's a screenshot, not it's a text, okay? AUSA says my error was only looking at the first message. I apologize. The judge says you may like screenshots as opposed to text. The AUSA says we. The judge says I'm not done. AUSA says I'm sorry for interrupting you. The judge says I understand. I'm just not sure this is the hill you want to die on. And then Driscoll pops in. By the way, Driscoll is someone we haven't seen talk to any witnesses, but Driscoll is one of the, I think probably the 7th or 8th lawyer that's on Diddy's team. If we had to, remember I ranked the lawyers yesterday. I said Nicole Westmoreland is batting 1,000 right now. Nicole Westmoreland, Brian Steele, Tanny Garagos. We got Anastevio. Then we got Mark Agnifilo. We have Xavier Donaldson. Who else? Obviously Driscoll. That's 7 already. So I've named 7 lawyers, right? It's in their opening. They attacked Jane's credibility. They called it consensual. Okay, that's what the AUSA says. And as you heard yesterday, Jane says she feels coerced. Now, why they're doing this is that when y'all listen to me read Jane Doe, aka 50 Cent's baby mom's testimony yesterday, sounded like she was saying she enjoyed this shit. She said she liked it. She thought it was taboo, but she wanted to make him happy. It was only at the end of her testimony yesterday she started saying, which by the way I thought it was a bad time to break, because everything she said didn't describe her as the victim. Only at the end of the testimony, at the end of the day, did she say, oh, yeah, I did the freak-offs willingly at first to make him happy, but at some point, he wanted to do too many freak-offs all the time, and I wasn't with it, okay? So let's go. So Driscoll says the government sent us 6 years, okay, of text messages. Then they somewhat reduced them. We stand by our objections. The foundation has not been laid. Judge says the government should lay the foundation. Johnson says we have laid it. Judge says bring in the jury and the witness. Comey says good morning, and she's now talking to 50 Cent's baby mama, Daphne Joy. Good morning. How many times did you travel to Las Vegas? Jane says once on Sean's plane. He was hosting an event. Then he wanted entertainment for the night. We had that. He said, what do you mean by entertainment? He said, and entertained. We had sex. That's what Jane Doe says, okay? 50 Cent's baby mom. AUSA says, what did going off the grid mean? Getting free. Did Sean call you a freak? Jane says, yes, he wanted me to be wild and sexual. Did Sean, or did you ask Sean if the entertainers could wear condoms? She says, yes. The first time with Dawn and another, Sean guilt-tripped me out of it. It wasn't something he wanted to see. So Diddy didn't want to see the male performers with condoms. Comey says, what was his tone? Condescending. AUSA says, did he say why he didn't want the entertainers to wear condoms? By the way, let me tweet this out, chat. Let's tweet this out. Let's tweet this out, chat. Hold on, Lee. All right, man. Give me a second. Give me 1 second. Somebody said check Fifth's page. What Fifth say? Did Fifth say anything else? Give me a second. 50 Cent baby mama testifies. Okay. Oh, that's what happened. Y'all can't hear that. I know it. Okay, I see what happened, chat. I had motherfuckers out by the pool. They out there just in their birthday suit. And I think my landscapers came by because like nobody could see you normally. But the landscapers came by like, what the fuck is going on? So I guess that's why they come on. Anyway, all right, I see what's going on. Yeah, today's Friday. It's a landscaper day. Okay. All right, cool. I tweeted out. Here we go. AUSA Comey. It says, what did you mean? So, entertained. We had sex. It said, what do you mean going off the grid? It was getting free. Did Sean call you a freak? Yup. He wanted me to be wild and sexual. Did you ask Sean if the entertainers could wear condoms? Yes. The first time with Don and another. Sean guilt tripped me out of it. It wasn't something he wanted to see. Comey says, what was his tone? He was condescending. Did he say why he didn't want the entertainer to wear a condom? He just didn't want to see a rubber. Did you raise it ever when sober and not in the hotel room? She says, yes. Says, was this ever recorded? She says, yes, one that I'm aware of. I'm trying to ask the entertainer if he could wear a condom, and the dude says he's looking for it. Yo, this is nasty work. Comey says, I would like to call this exhibit with an 8. Did you listen to this? Jane says, yes. AUSA says, and did you read the transcript that's up on the screen? Jane says, yes. Comey says, let's start at 8 minutes and 20 seconds. When you said, I think they've in their chair, what were you referred to? So I guess she was saying, no, we do got condoms, nigga. So I guess she's trying to request the guy wear a condom. Diddy don't want a condom because he got the Astroglide just whacking it. And she's like, oh, you don't got a condom? There's some condoms over there, trying to get the nigga to wear a condom. AUSA says, what did you understand what Sean meant when he said you were just taking that dick? Jane says that we already had interscope. Oh no, not interscope. Intercourse. Comey then says, and when he said if you don't touch yourself right now, what was he saying? To just move on. AUSA says, why did you think you needed permission from Sean for the man to have sex with your body? Wait, why did you think you needed permission from Sean for the man having sex with your body to wear a condom? They say objection, overruled. They have a sidebar, sure. Holy shit, okay. They're come back, or if they've came back. By the way, let's go look at 50 Cent's. Oh my God, I'm all over the place today, chat. Well, I'm all over the place. I'm all over the place, huh? 50 Cent, here we go. Okay, here we go. This is how they drew 50 Cent baby mom. He said, hey, does anyone know who Jane Doe is? I'm trying to research this. Man, this stuff with Elon and Trump too is crazy. No, 50's comedy. 50's comedy. Does anybody know who Jane Doe is? 50 is comedy. 50 is comedy. And I love 50. Nah, he's comedy though. He's comedy. He's comedy. That nigga is comedy. Hold on, give me a second. Why 50 do that, bro? He said, "Do y'all know who Jane Doe is?" And then the next slide, he put his baby moms. Chat, is this an L for 50? We gotta run a poll. Is this an L for 50? Because 50 did pick this woman to be the mother of his child, and now she's getting freaked off for $750 a day by Diddy, his arch nemesis. Okay, let's get back to it though. They're back. He said, "Why didn't you say no?" Okay. She said he'd get agitated. He said, how would intercourse with an entertainer end? He'd finish on me. Then what would happen with Sean? Well, after the dude finished on her, she says she would have sex with Sean. How would you clean up? He said, would you clean up the man's cum on you? She says, no. She says, why not? Sean liked it. He liked to play around with it. Holy shit, bumbo cloud. I told you this body fish. Hold on, I gotta send me this. Send me these 2 tweets. Memes. Grand or chat niggas. Send me these 2 tweets. I need them for the Instagram and a Twitter post. I gotta clown him. Sean liked it. Liked to play around it because I told niggas that Diddy was gay. Everybody was like, how is he gay? Just because he like nut rubbed on his nipples? I'm like, yes, that's how he's gay. That's how he's fucking gay. Fucking gay. Ain't nothing wrong with being gay, but he's fucking gay. Everybody was like, that don't really mean he's gay. He's not really fucking the men. Then you get niggas like Vlad, love Vlad, but Vlad's like, how do we really know Diddy's gay? We never heard of him fucking a guy. You don't need to fuck a guy to be gay. You're playing around with semen. You're rubbing it on your nipples. You're fucking gay, okay? I'm sorry. You're gay. Says Sean liked it. He liked to play around with it. And then what? Here's my thing that's like tripping me out about like even Diddy doing that. Like, did Diddy have a medical condition? Did Diddy not realize he also produces semen himself? why didn't he play with his own semen? Like, it's confusing to me why Diddy, well, I don't know. I guess you could say that about every gay guy, right? Be like, don't you have a dick? Why are you obsessed with somebody else with a dick, right? Yeah, I guess I'm asking a stupid question. Okay, I'm asking a stupid question. Yeah, a gay nigga just likes gay shit, right? Because I'm just thinking, bro, you could ejaculate yourself and play around with your own semen if you just like playing around with semen, but that's not the real thing. The real thing is that this motherfucker likes the ejaculation of other men. That's what it is. It says, why not? Sean liked it. He likes to play around it. Then what? Said, I'll take a shower and get ready for the next one. Bumbleclot. What? The next one? Yo, she said she would take a shower and get ready for the next one, like the next nigga. Typically, how many rounds would you go? Objection. That was overruled. Jane says every entertainer was different. Sometimes it was 3. So sometimes niggas would like nut 3 times on her. Okay. Not 3 different niggas. It says would decide. He says who would decide if you could stop or when you were tired? She starts crying. She's like, Diddy. So she says, Sean. She said, do you need a moment? She's crying. She says, I'm sorry. What was your question? She says, how did you say you wanted to stop? Jane says, I would say I'm hungry. I would make little faces. Jane says, I'd send him subtle cues. Comey says, that's the AUSA. What would he say? He'd say, you're not getting tired on me, are you? Let's go out on a high note. Let's finish strong. Yo, Diddy was a fucking coach. Yo, let's finish strong, yo. Yo, let's get this nut up on out of this nigga. Come on now. It's like a football coach. You know? When you hit that hole, just make sure you hold the ball and just finish up strong. God damn. What would Sean give you to keep you awake and having sex with the entertainers? She says ecstasy. Comey says, did you ever cry after one of these hotel nights? She says twice. Tell us about the first time you cried. I thought it was a date night, a one-on-one. But he said there would be an entertainer, but just a quick one. I hung on to that, but for 18 hours. What? After 18 hours and 3 rounds with the entertainer, Sean said he had to leave. I started crying. Comey says, were you with someone else? Jane says, I was with Sean. Wow. So 18 hours with the guy, 3 rounds. Diddy says, all right, yo, listen, I got to call. I got to leave. So you could imagine these women are doing this thing supposedly to pleasure Diddy, but essentially at some point, Diddy would like not, it's interesting, the dichotomy of the freak off. They're having sex with other men for Diddy's enjoyment, but they want to make Diddy happy so much. Their enjoyment is that after Diddy gets his little kink out, they would have sex with Diddy and they would be like, oh, okay. All right, everything is good because now I fucked Diddy and he's good and he's happy, sexually satisfied. She feels kind of empty after she fucks an entertainer for 18 hours. And when Diddy was supposed to fuck her, he tells her, I got to run. And that probably, caused an emotional response. So she started crying. So were you with someone else? Jane says, I was with Sean. It was in the Waldorf of Beverly Hills in the early of our relationship. He said, what did Sean say? Jane says, he said, are you crying? Like he was looking disgusted at me. Then he just sat there listening to music. I was clinging to him. He said he could move things around with his family and I could go home with him. I just wanted to be in his arms after all that. Comey says, and after the second time, Jane says, I was in the shower after one of those nights. So the second time she was crying, she was in the shower after she just got boned and piped out by all these men. And she starts stuttering and AUSA says, is your memory spotty? What do you remember? She says, I was so high. Like I was having sex with Paul. Then I was in the shower with Sean. He said, stop it. I'm too high. Stop. He said, Paul? Who's Paul? So Paul's one of the entertainers. So were there hotel nights? Were these hotel nights work for you? So they're almost asking her like, are you a sex worker? Okay? They're literally just asking her that. Okay? Were hotel nights work? Did you consider it a job? Like you had to do fucking? Objection. It got overruled. She says, yeah, it was work from start to finish. 50 was right. She's a little sex worker. 50 was right. 50 was right. 50 was right, bro. Damn, it was work from start to finish. What did you do to get them to end sooner? I try to have sex with the entertainers fast. So what did you do to speed things up? I do foreplay and I bring them into the room. Sean would say, slow it down, girl. Slow it down, baby girl. More foreplay. What words would he use? It's objection, time frame. So that's fair. It says, remember she says early in the relationship. May to October 2023. So AUSA says May 2021 to October 2023. What would Sean say? Jane says he'd say, I'm not ready to see that yet. So I guess when she was trying to rush to fuck because she wants it to be over because she's like, all right, if I fuck quickly, it's over quickly. Diddy would say, no, slow it down, baby girl. Slow it down. Defense asks for a sidebar. The judge says, sure. Holy. They come back again. Comey says, how did you feel? Jane says, I just wanted to be with Sean at the end. Said, where would you go? I would go to his residence. He said, was any part of these hotel nights you enjoyed? She said, yes, just being with Sean. Comey says, would he text him? I don't know. Are they saying, did he text the sex workers? I don't know. I guess, or what would you text him? Maybe that was the thing. Jane says, yeah, I would text him to say I love you. So did you text him that you wanted to have sex? Jane says, yes, I would text him that I wanted to have sex, but with him. AUSA says, did you ever text him that you ever wanted to have sex with others? Jane says, yeah, I did. Oh my God, that's a freak. That's a freak. But again, remember, this is under the context of this is a woman who supposedly is victimized. She never really wanted to have sex with other people, but she basically is claiming that she would indulge in Diddy's fantasy to the point she would text Diddy to say, who you want me to fuck today type shit, you know? Wow. She said, yes, I would text him and say, no, I wanted to have sex with others because it was his fantasy. Said, did you tell you wanted to text? Huh? Yes. Did he tell you what to text? Yes. I guess she was texting the sex workers. He asked, what do you want? Be explicit. AUSA says, why did you write these things? He says, I wanted to make my lover happy. Says, look at this one from November 9th, 2021. What did you write? She said, I wrote, I'm horny for you. Comey says, you don't have to read it, but you did write it. You wrote, I want to suck Paul's dick. Why did you write that? So I guess she texted Diddy that she want to suck Paul's dick. They're asking her, why'd you write that message? She says, I knew me saying that. I knew it would turn Diddy on. Who was Paul? An entertainer. They've asked that twice now. You've texted him that you wanted to stop having hotel nights, right? She says yes. Comey says, what did you write here? Jane says, I'm so much more than being left in a dark room. My heart is breaking. I don't want to play this role in your life anymore. I feel it's the only reason you pay for the house. We need to talk like adults. Comey says, how long had... Yo, the things... Chat, this is the thing about entertainment, man. Anytime, ooh, okay. My favorite type of text is right here. Ooh, Lee. That's a business text. It says, send me your wire info. I like that a lot. Anyway, are they arrested somebody in regards to Skrilla's shooting? We'll get to it. Cool. So. Yo, the things you see some of these women who live this extravagant lifestyle, this is what I always tell people who are regular, you know? I was having a conversation with a group of people the other day, and they were telling me, they said, you're living the life. And I was saying to them, I'm like, no, we're all human. Happiness is something that is forever fleeting and we're always chasing no matter what you have. If you have money, you start looking at other things. If you don't have money, you then chase money. You think money is happiness. When you get money, it's something else. You think it's family, you get family, then it's like happiness is something that's forever fleeting. And their thing to me was like, you know what? Well, you're saying this from a place of privilege because you have money. And I said to them, I'm like, yo, listen, what a lot of people don't realize is that once once you check that box of having money or you live whatever lifestyle, you realize like it's the simple things that really like, it's like lack of family. Like I wish I had a son. Real talk. Now, I'm going to tell you why I'm saying this. I'm saying this because I think a lot of times when people look at these entertainers or these influencers' lifestyle, and let's go to 50 Cent's baby mama, for example, right? I know a lot of people who would look at her lifestyle, Daphne Joy, and they would say, it looks so glamorous. But the shit that these people do to maintain that lifestyle and to keep the lifestyle going on, like when you look at this, you're like, oh, yo, she gotta be, it gotta be a blast. Like, and I'll give you another story. I'll make it real quick. Who's PJ Washington's like new girl? PJ Washington girlfriend. Okay, this girl right here. I've heard several women tell me she's living the life. Like women like this girl. I don't know who she is, but she's PJ Washington's new girl. And apparently she does a really good job of showing people her life, and other women just envy it. And they're like, oh, damn, she got everything that makes someone happy. Now, remember what I said about happiness, right? Number one, it's usually a facade and it's always fleeting. So people look at this woman and they're like, yo, he's always, like, she has the perfect man, she has this, she has the car, she has whatever. And the reality is that Instagram is a facade. And we've seen this in a case earlier with I believe it was Mia, right? Where Mia basically said, yeah, Instagram, that wasn't really my true reality. I really say that to say, when you see some of these influencers and you're seeing all the lifestyle they're living, like Daphne Joy, you got to think about how many pints of piss, how much, ounces of semen they have, digested to get there. That's what it was. She literally was doing these things, no matter how good this looks online. She was doing things to maintain a lifestyle. She was sucking dick. She was getting peed on. She was getting ran through by multiple people. Now, when you don't understand that context of why she's getting what she's getting, you're going to sit back and you're going to just look at the lifestyle like, oh my God, look at this house. And you're going to be like, yo, damn, if only I could get a house like that. If you're a female, are you down to go fuck 8 niggas a night? Are you down to get peed on? Are you down to fucking start massaging this nigga with semen from other men? So that's the interesting part. And I know I probably went on this little, I didn't need to go on this little exit route in terms of trying to make a point here. But it just kind of shows how dark her life was. Like, her life at that point, she is fucking and doing whatever Diddy wants to maintain a lifestyle that she probably felt like she was imprisoned by at that point.